A while ago, I made a video about a Wikipedia game called Getting to Philosophy. Basically, 97% of the time, if you click on the first link of a Wikipedia page over and over again, you're going to eventually end up on philosophy. I introduced this game to my friend Sammy and my sister gave us the article Curtain. Turns out that curtain leads to a loop, avoiding the article of philosophy. This is probably the most common way to avoid getting to philosophy and thus winning the game. Yet, I swore that loop wasn't there before because I recognized one of the articles in the chain as before leading to philosophy. Luckily for us, Wikipedia pages have a View History tab where you can see changes made and by whom. Turns out there's been a vandal on Wikipedia going around breaking loops, editing pages so that they do end up at philosophy. And their username, is GTP Loopbreaker, who started editing on the 8th of June this year, 2026. Now, if you go to their user talk page, you'll find a very kind editor, this poor editor, letting them know it's not appropriate behavior to be editing an encyclopedia for the purpose of winning, or actually causing others and themselves, in effect, to lose the game to make it harder to win. On Awareness's revision page, we see another editor trying to reason with GTP Loopbreaker like a toddler staying up past bedtime. It's pretty funny to me that everybody's talking to this person like they're someone you can reason with, and not someone actively going around pages with the name GTP Loopbreaker. It also seems like they've been successfully, at least if we're to believe their words, been going around garnering support for the changes they're making to pages before they even make them. One particularly funny quote to me is that from another editor who asks, "Are you going to do this with everything, probably not a correct moment, philosophical subject?" Earlier on, we can see that GTP Loopbreaker has some sort of logic for their actions, saying, "Edits solely for the purpose of messing up GTP are no better than those solely for the purpose of fixing it." And this is where I think, well, wouldn't it be hilarious if GTP Loopbreaker got a Wikipedia page that looped? Just an idea for the editors of Wikipedia, although I have a feeling they wouldn't entertain it. Anyways, elsewhere, we get this villainous monologues opening from GTP Loopbreaker.
I'm GTP Loopbreaker. My whole thing is breaking loops that make GTP not work on articles I identify that it doesn't work on.
Now remember, Prequarius are the one who asked GTP Loopbreaker, "Are you going to do this with every philosophical subject?" Well, GTP Loopbreaker took the issue to the administrator's notice board, reporting Prequarius for messing up their loops. Buckle up now, because this one's a long one, but I promise it's worth it.
User Prequarius keeps editing articles related to philosophy for the sole purpose of changing what the first link is, even when multiple other users think it was better, with philosophy as the first link and changing it back over and over. Though I initially made this account intending to make more stuff lead to philosophy, I have read the notice at the top of WP GTP that says not to make edits motivated by the concept, and as such have shifted my focus to using the concept as a way to test how well knowledge flows together on the site rather than getting stuck in circular definitions. Aquarius, on the other hand, has been making talk page edits showing a clear, deliberate intent to make things not lead to philosophy, and has shown an unwillingness to accept articles in the area of philosophy not being exactly the way they want them to ensure they end in loops, not including philosophy, and keeps changing stuff back repeatedly to almost the same version someone else has already reverted. GTP Loop Breaker. You could also report yourself because you're doing exactly the same thing by making sure that virtually every philosophical topic is immediately linked to philosophy, even though it's almost always already clear that the subject is philosophical. Whether from the title, the surrounding text, or simply common sense. Surely we're not going to write, in astronomy, the sun is, in history, World War II was, in geography, Paris is, in literature, Hamlet is. That all seems unnecessary to me. Just describe what the topic is, not all the fields in which it appears. After all, the terms subject and object, for example, are also used in psychology, spirituality, religion, neuroscience, physics, etc. By the way, I find it strange that you want to silence me by cutting me off from the debate, all of a sudden, without any warning or discussion, the latter of which I did, in fact, try to have with you. Kind regards, Aquarius. It's true that I may not be perfect at identifying what is best for the encyclopedia. I may still be biased in favor of GTP working in the same way you seem biased in the favor of it not working. But I can also say that I haven't been the only person to revert or change your edits. Multiple others did so on multiple pages, and the point was made here that it is a bit unusual that a bunch of philosophy topics don't lead to philosophy. GTP Loopbreaker.
This goes on for several more paragraphs, and another user by the name of Andy the Grump, who does exactly what it says on the tin, by the way, joins a conversation, and Aquarius appears to have switched sides somewhat playfully, and now supports GTP Loopbreaker, defending against Andy the Grump, who screams at GTP Loopbreaker in all capital letters to stop editing pages for their little game. Now, the day that we discovered this, GTP Loopbreaker was banned. Had we not played the game that day, we never would have realized this happened. Now, my friend Sammy decided to do a little more investigating and found that since June 8th to nearly a month later, this person has been consistently editing Wikipedia pages just to break loops, some of which have not yet been reverted. These pages include Administrative Divisions of Alberta, Art Music, which looped with classical music, which is a little bit humiliating because I didn't even think to try classical music. In my video, I challenged everyone to find something related to music that doesn't lead to philosophy, and I didn't even try classical music. Online chat, which was interestingly already not a loop. Stock Aitken Waterman. Continent. Treaty of St. Clair-sur-Epte. Horse-drawn vehicle. And Ava Max. With such commitment, I honestly can't tell if they're genuinely trying to go through every page out of interest just to break loops. And it seems that they're doing this manually, not automatically, given the intervals between their edits, or if they're just a troll. But either way, I admire the editor's resilience in dealing with this person so kindly.